Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Prodigy channel, and today we have another video where I will be setting my fantasy football lineups across my 4 leagues. We are currently in week 10 of the 2021 fantasy football season, and we got lots of stuff to go over in this video. We have some start-sit decisions to make. I just want to show you guys kind of my process, as I do each and every week, of me setting my lineup, so hopefully, you know, we can talk some things out, because there are some decisions to make this week for sure. We have some stuff to talk about in non-PPR, half PPR, full PPR. We got 1 quarterback, 2 quarterback leagues. We have some redraft and some dynasty. So we got all sorts of stuff to go over in this video. So I'm just going to go league by league, start by recapping the week 9 matchups, go over the transactions I made since then, and then we're going to set the lineup for week 10 of this 2021 fantasy football season. And before we get into it, it is currently 10:30 a.m. Central Time. So I'm recording this about an hour and a half before the games start on Sunday. So with that being said, I think we're ready to get into a little recap and then setting some lineups. So this is the first league we're going to talk about. It's a non-PPR league, 1 quarterback, pretty traditional league, but it's been rough for the Bungling Buffaloes. I lost in week 9. My team has definitely had some tough breaks lately after being very dominant early in the season and rattling off like the most points in the league, like 4 weeks in a row at one point or something like that. We have been struggling. Derrick Henry, that injury, really hurt us. Calvin Ridley is taking a leave from football. Antonio Brown and Tom Brady were out last week, and AB has been out for a few weeks, including this upcoming week he's going to be out. So we've had to, fill some holes, but yeah, week 9 was pretty ugly. Teddy Bridgewater filling in for Tom Brady, who was on bye. He did well. David Montgomery and AJ Dillon did pretty okay. They didn't sink my lineup, but they weren't great. David Montgomery did okay in his return. He looked pretty good. And he got good volume in his first game back from injury. So that was good to see long term. But other than that, DJ Moore continued to struggle. Kadarius Toney just didn't do anything. And yeah, there's not a lot of excitement for week 9 in this lineup. But after week 9, we made a few transactions here. So I picked up Jordan Howard for $1. We have $200 fab dollars that we started with, so that's 1 out of 200. And I dropped Teddy Bridgewater because I don't need him anymore because Tom Brady's coming back this week. Jordan Howard I picked up as someone who I'm probably going to have to play this week. He's filling in for Miles Sanders, their normal kind of starting running back. Jordan Howard has been seeing some volume. He's gotten in the end zone a little bit. So in a league like this where the benches are a little deep, the waiver wire, there's not a lot there because it's a deeper league with quite a few bench spots, and where I'm dealing with a lot of people not playing. I needed someone to plug into the lineup. So we'll talk about him a little bit more in a second. And I also added Rhamondre Stevenson, running back for the Patriots, and I dropped Robbie Anderson, who earlier in the year, since the waiver wire is so desolate, I was like, oh, Robbie Anderson's on the waiver wire. I'll blow a ton of fab on him, even though I didn't really expect him to be great this year, just with the things the offense is doing in Carolina. I thought he'd be somewhat relevant and someone I could maybe use, but nah, I finally dropped him. I've been holding on to Robbie Anderson for way too long, and he's done nothing. I'm just cutting my losses, and he gone. So let's set this lineup for week 10 now. So Tom Brady is an auto start. Love the matchup, and I would play him even if it was a horrible matchup because he's just that good. But it's one of the best matchups in fantasy right now for offenses to go against the Washington football team. Other than that, we'll kind of take a look at the bench. I'm without David Montgomery because they're on bye. Antonio Brown is injured. Giants receivers are not playing because they're on bye. Derrick Henry and Calvin Ridley obviously still not playing. So that's kind of why I had to add some people off the waiver wire. So Jordan Howard, he's been seeing some volume, even though it's not the greatest matchup against the Denver Broncos. I'm just hoping he sees some decent yardage and hopefully falls in the end zone. Other than that, I picked up Rhamondre Stevenson because in New England, their main starting running back, Damian Harris, has been ruled out. As I last heard, as of this recording, Rhamondre Stevenson is looking like there's a good chance of him playing. So I expect him to kind of be the lead running back there in New England. Kind of like this Denver-Philadelphia game. I don't expect this game to be that high scoring either. It's not a great matchup in terms of points given up to running backs for Rhamondre Stevenson going against the Browns, but I just need someone out there that's going to get some touches. So as of now, it's Rhamondre Stevenson. If he is ruled out, I'll have to pick up some other, running back for the Patriots, probably Brandon Bolden, maybe JJ Taylor, but I would lead Brandon Bolden, even though this is a non-PPR league. I don't know if I mentioned that this is non-PPR, 1 quarterback. So hopefully one of these guys gets in the end zone at least. But yeah, so they're in my lineup as of now. If I change anything or, anything throughout the video in any of the lineups, I will always comment it down below and put it in the description. But other than that, moving on, DJ Moore, even though he's been struggling, just based off the options I have, I'm going to stick with him. If I had a stacked receiving core, then maybe I would consider benching him just because of the struggles of the Carolina offense and the inability to really get DJ Moore consistently involved and get him the ball. Maybe I would sit him against Arizona, but yeah, just with my matchups, DJ Moore is still in. Deebo Samuel is an auto start every week at this point. Mark Andrews, he already played on the Thursday night game, and he got us off to a great start, so that was awesome. And then A.J. Dillon, I'm playing him. It looks like the Seahawks are giving up quite a few points to running backs. And I just need someone that's going to get some volume, and he has been seeing a little bit of volume, splitting work with Aaron Jones in Green Bay. So he's an okay start, nothing like super exciting, but again, based, with no Montgomery, no Antonio Brown, no Derrick Henry, no Calvin Ridley, none of these Giants wide receivers. This is kind of the best I can do. And I really don't want to play Mike Davis because he frustrates me. And other than that, we got Detroit, or we got the Pittsburgh Steelers defense playing against Detroit. I love that. And then Mason Crosby, he's a kicker. Anyways, moving on to this league right now. We have a 2-quarterback league, half PPR. These have been all redraft leagues so far, the ones we went over. The last one we go over will be Dynasty. But the previous league was a regular snake draft. This was actually an auction draft. So I'm the AL Ironman, and I'm currently 5-4 now after getting a kind of a win I didn't expect to get against the number 1 seed in our league. I guess he is also missing Derrick Henry as well as, Chris Carson. So that definitely helped us in that situation. He also didn't have Antonio Brown. But yeah, looking at this matchup, I got the win, even though this is a 2-quarterback, or I guess it's a super flex league, but you want to play 2 quarterbacks, obviously. Well, Kyler Murray was ruled out, Jared Goff was on bye, and Zach Wilson was out last week as well. So I ended up having to put Adrian Peterson in that super flex spot instead of a quarterback. And he got in the end zone, so he scored 9 points. So obviously not ideal, but at least he did something. I was able to put James Conner in the lineup, and he was the running back 1 overall on the week. And he kind of carried my team, as you can see. No one else did anything too crazy. A.J. Dillon did okay. Kelsey did his thing. And Teddy did all right. But yeah, that was our Week 9 box score. Since then, these are the transactions in the league. I'll just go to my team right here. The AL Ironman. Pretty cool, huh? All I did was drop Mike Davis. So, yeah, nothing too exciting. So, we have to set our Week 10 lineup now. So, last I heard, it's looking like Kyler Murray is not going to play. They're pessimistic. Him and DeAndre Hopkins last I heard. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Jared Goff in there for now. And then I'm going to move Jared Goff to this spot because he plays earlier. So I want the later game with Teddy Bridgewater in the more flexible position in case I need to make any changes later in the day. But if Kyler Murray actually is playing, things take a turn for the better and he is active, I will put him in for Jared Goff. But as of now, I'm putting Jared Goff in there because here's the thing. Kyler Murray doesn't play until 3 o'clock. So if I want to pivot from him, my only other option right now is Jared Goff because this is a 2-quarterback league. There's really no options on the waiver wire. So I have to make a decision now before the noon games. If do I want to wait and hope and pray that Kyler Murray plays, but if he's ruled out, then I won't have another quarterback to put in there, right? Because Teddy's already in and Zach Wilson is doubtful to play. Plus, even if he was playing, he's also playing at noon. So I just have to make a decision. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to monitor the news closer to noon, see if anything breaks about Kyler Murray. But as of now, it's looking like he's not going to play. So I'm just putting Jared Goff in there, making sure that I have 2 quarterbacks in my lineup this week, especially because it's looking pretty doubtful that Kyler Murray's going to play. So we just have to make a tough decision there. And then at running back and all that, we got Aaron Jones as a lock. James Conner filling in for Chase Edmonds, their other running back in Arizona. He left early last week, and James Conner went crazy. Obviously, this is a worse matchup against the Carolina Panthers compared to the 49ers, who they played last week. But Chase Edmonds is still out. It's a good offense, even with without Kyler Murray or DeAndre Hopkins. James Conner, I still like him this week as a nice play. Should see great volume. And if you can get in the end zone, we love it. And then James Robinson, he is currently a game time decision last I heard. Actually, I got a report a little bit ago on my phone. I got a notification that he's expected to play. So as of now, he's in the lineup. If he is ruled out, I will put in probably Devin Singletary. It's probably who I would put in for him. Hopefully we don't have to make that decision, though. And then at wide receiver, it's pretty easy. Devontae Adams is a lock. DJ Moore, I'm rolling with him still. And then Emmanuel Sanders against the Jets. I don't hate that at all. I think, they're going to have... I know the Bills were shut down by the Jaguars, but hopefully they can find a little more success this week against the Jets. And yeah, those are really my only wide receiver options, because the only other receiver on my team is Sterling Shepard, who's on bye, and then Michael Gallup, who I guess if one of these guys is ruled out at the last second, I could put Gallup in. But yeah. So yeah, this is the lineup for week 10 for this league. No real tough decisions other than dealing with Kyler Murray, but it's really not that tough of a decision because he is expected to not play. So as of now, I got Jared Goff in the lineup. And again, if I make any changes, I'll comment it down below. Now we're going to move on to our final redraft league, and this is a full PPR, 2-quarterback league. We got punters and head coaches for some reason. It's just a fun little league. We have a good time. But I got the win last week, so far we have won 2 out of the 3 leagues that I went over. We're now 5-4 in this league. I got a pretty narrow victory here. You can see the scoring in the rest of the league. I had an okay week, kind of in the middle with 118. Some teams scored way more. Some teams scored way less, 86. Anyways, this is our lineup from last week, so... nothing too, Mahomes and Josh Allen both were pretty bad, but Dalvin Cook, Cordero Patterson, and Hunter Renfrow carried. And then we had Dan Arnold and Damian Harris in double digits, so that was nice. On the bench, our receiving core is hurting right now. Tyler Lockett was on bye, and he was without Russell Wilson at quarterback for a while, so thankfully Russell Wilson is coming back this week, so hopefully Tyler Lockett will be a little bit better than he has been. TJ Hawkinson was on bye, which is why I picked up Dan Arnold. And I almost picked up Pat Freiermuth, who had 2 touchdowns, but I picked up Dan Arnold instead. Either way, we got the win, so it doesn't really matter, but I wish I would have picked up Freiermuth for last week. And Antonio Brown was out. And Calvin Ridley and Russell Wilson were out as well last week. So we'll go over the transactions that we made in this league here. I'll find my team. I can't remember what exactly we all did. So I dropped Van Jefferson. I added Darrel Williams back off the waiver wire because I had to drop him last week because I just needed to add a receiver because I had literally no one to play. And I did pick up Pat Freiermuth actually earlier in the week, dropped Dan Arnold, but I ended up dropping Pat Freiermuth for Russell Gage because, like I said, my receiving core is really struggling in this league, so I had to pick someone up to play this week. And then I also added the Titans defense and dropped the Cowboys defense so I could play the Titans this week. So setting the lineup for this week, I'm starting Josh Allen and Mahomes. I do have Jalen Hurts on my team. I know he's been pretty good, pretty solid. Also Russell Wilson, who I picked up off of waivers. He was dropped after he injured his finger. I picked him up and stashed him on my IR, and since then he's just been kind of chilling. So yeah, my quarterbacks in this 2-quarterback league are stacked. So it's always a tough decision, but pretty much every week, unless there's a bye week, I've been starting Josh Allen and Mahomes. I'm going to stick with it. At running back, Cordero Patterson, I love each and every week. So much consistency each week, but also offers a ton of upside. And this could be a high-scoring game against Dallas, so I love Patterson. Dalvin Cook is also a lock against the Chargers. And then at flex, I'm starting Darrel Williams, running back for the Chiefs against the Raiders, because Clyde Edwards-Helaire, it's looking like he's not going to play yet, so he should still be the starter. And then at wide receiver, we're without Calvin Ridley and Antonio Brown. And also in terms of flexing someone, Damian Harris is out this week. So, we got the running backs in flex, so we got to move on to wide receiver. Tyler Lockett. I've been starting him in this league, even, through his struggles and through Russell Wilson getting hurt, just because, I don't really have a lot of other people to play. So I actually like Tyler Lockett this week, though, against Green Bay. I think with Russell Wilson back, hopefully they can find each other for some big plays. Hunter Renfrow, he's been a nice, solid addition to the squad, given the injuries I've had to my receivers. So I'm off to a pretty good start here. Plus, he's missing a couple players. Yeah, this is looking good so far. When you're starting Robbie Anderson in your lineup, that's when it's looking bad for your team. So hopefully, things stick and you get the win in that league. But our final league, this is the Dynasty League. This is half PPR. Week 9, I got the win over draftjoshallen.com. I played Matt Ryan because Tom Brady was on bye, and he went off. He went crazy. He's been playing pretty good lately, actually, so that was awesome. And also Joe Mixon had a great game. Jonathan Taylor, that was the Thursday night game. He started the week off with 33 points for me. So other than that, those 3 guys really carried my lineup. There were some decent performances in there, but those guys really stole the show. And here is the bench in case, you want to see anything. We were without quite a few people. No Tom Brady. Obviously, Mike Davis has been a bust. Alex Collins was on bye. Ronald Jones has done nothing lately. James Robinson was out. I did not play. I don't want to play Marvin Jones against Buffalo. Godwin was out on bye. Hopkins was out with an injury. T.Y. Hilton was out with an injury. So I ended up not playing George Kittle. I just stuck with Dallas Goedert, and Kittle did quite a bit better. Goddard had 6, while Kittle had 17. It's 11 points better. So yeah, that was really the only major miss. And then other than that, it looks like Cam Newton got added in this league, someone that I dropped earlier in the year. But I'll just sort it by my team here. I don't even know if I made any transactions. I added Carlos Hyde and dropped Ben Roethlisberger just because I have James Robinson. I feel like, and Carlos Hyde recently became available, so I thought that'd be a nice handcuff to add, especially as you saw, our benches are so deep in this league. I also added Eno Benjamin and dropped Cedric Wilson. Cedric Wilson he was already not someone you would play with confidence, and now Michael Gallup is coming back for Dallas, so that'll eat into Cedric Wilson's opportunities even more. And then that's pretty much it. Yep, that's it. That's all the transactions I made recently. So we're going to set the final lineup to go over in this video. Obviously, I love Tom Brady and all Buccaneers players this week against Washington. That's a lock. Jonathan Taylor against Jacksonville. Whoa, Nelly. That is a great matchup for a great player. And then James Robinson in that same game. Last I heard, he was a game-time decision, but again, like I heard most recently, it's looking like he's going to play. So in this league, if James Robinson doesn't play, I will just go ahead and put Carlos Hyde in for him. Just the handcuff, Darrel Williams is starting in this lineup for me at the flex. We have 2 flexes. This is a 1 quarterback, by the way, half PPR, Dynasty. I think I covered all that, just to make sure that's what it is. Chris Godwin, he is expected to play. Yep, last I heard. So if he's active, I'm starting him. I really love Mike Evans this week, but I don't have him in any league, so I'm going to be starting Chris Godwin. And yeah, I got Mike Williams in there still, even though he's been struggling lately. And I have both Denver Broncos wide receivers, and they're Judy and Sutton. And then I got George Kittle, who looked great last week after returning from injury, so I'm rolling with him. And then I don't love the Chargers against the Vikings, Skull Vikings, but, this is a dynasty league. I only have the Chargers and the Bears. The Bears are on bye. There's no defenses on the waiver wire because the benches are so deep. So that's my only option. So I'll look at the bench here. Joe Mixon is on bye, so it'd be nice to have him. Hopkins, last I heard, it says he's not expected to play. If he does end up playing, I will put him in for Courtland Sutton. I guess the only thing I'll add is if Chris Godwin is ruled out, which I don't expect him to be, but if he is, I would put Marvin Jones in for him, I guess. But hopefully we don't. Hopefully this lineup, it just stays the way it is, especially because it's getting close to game time. And with that being said, hope you guys enjoy those games that are coming up pretty soon. It'll be even closer by the time I get this posted. So hope you guys enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. And good luck in Week 10, everybody.